Students, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So we have done till module 5. Today we'll start module 6, that is register and counters. This is again a part of sequential circuit. So let me share the PPT first. Is this slide is visible to you? Slide is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So this is sequential circuit 2 analysis. So here we have to see registers and counters. We have seen how your different types of flip-flops are working, how to analyze this different sequential circuit, and later on some more topics were also there related to the sequential circuit. Now we will see registers and counters. This module is very simple because we already aware with the concept of flip-flops. Since basically we have four types of flip-flop: D flip-flop, RS flip-flop, T flip-flop, and JK flip-flop. D flip-flop and RS flip-flop are similar, as whatever information we are putting, it is transferring as it is to the output. For D flip-flop, your Q is equal to D. For SR flip-flop, there is a set when S is equal to 1 and there is a reset when R is equal to 1. Okay. JK and T flip-flop is actually a kind of invert type of flip-flop. Fine. This is just opposite to that one. Now, first we will start with the register. So what is actually register? This is 4-bit parallel register. If you see here, the register 4-bit parallel register is implemented with the help of D flip-flop. You can implement this register with the help of any other flip-flop also. Here I have given example by using D flip-flop. So what is the function of this actually? Whatever input we are giving, that is I1, I2, I3, I4, this is actually 4-bit input. This I1 is the least significant bit. So with the occurrence of clock pulse, it is the input given to the flip-flop is stored in the register in the form of A1, A2, A3, A4. And this flip-flop will work with positive or positive edge of clock pulses. That means when CP is equal to 1, because there is no bubble in this given clock pulse. So why this is called 4-bit parallel register? Because parallelly we are storing the output in register, and this CP is given parallelly to all the register. All together we are giving input to all the register, that is I1, I2, I3, I4, and parallelly it is transferring into the register. So this is used to store the information in parallel form. Okay. So since this is D flip-flop, that's why whatever input is there, D, it will transfer as it is to the register with the occurrence of clock pulse when CP is equal to 1. So details, also some points I have mentioned here. You can see it later also. This is the simplest form of register because we have taken the D flip-flop first, and D flip-flop is the simplest flip-flop. It is already known to you. And I already explained everything here about this parallel register. The clock pulse input CP enables all flip-flops so that the information presently available at the 4 inputs can be transferred into 4-bit register. Okay. And since all input we are giving parallelly, that's why it is also called as a parallel register, 4-bit parallel register. The 4 output can be sampled to obtain the information presently stored in the register. When CP is equal to 1, it will transfer the information, and when CP is equal to 0, there will be no change. So one thing you keep in your mind, this register is actually, the function of register is actually depends on the transition of the clock pulse. it doesn't depends on the width of the clock pulse, I must say. It depends on the transition of the clock pulse. That means when it is 0, it is going 1 to 0, then there will be no change. Whatever information was carried in the previous pulse, it will be as it is. There will be no change. When it is 1, and if next information we are feeding, maybe it will transfer. So it depends on the transition of the clock pulse. Okay. So in the same way, this was a simple 4-bit parallel register. We can have the next one, that is flip-flop register with flip register with parallel load. Maybe some I don't know. Yeah, wait. This title is having some problem. I'll change it. Okay, so parallel this register with parallel load. So parallel load means what? There is some difference. What is the difference? Here, this has been taken with the help of, I have shown the example with the help of RS flip-flop. So before proceeding to the working of this register, let us discuss about the working of this RS flip-flop. So it is already known to you, when both S and R is equal to 0, then there is no change. Okay, there is no change state. When S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, then there is a set option. That means S, it will transfer to Q. Okay, when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, that means there is a reset option. Okay, and if both 1, 1 is there, then this is what? When both S and R is equal to 1, 1, then this is what? Which condition it implies? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, can you repeat once again?
I'm asking, when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, then what is the condition it implies? If both are 0, then there is no change, you can say. Yeah,
same state,
previous
ma'am.
state. Yes. Whatever was there earlier, it will be as it is. There will be no change with the occurrence of clock pulse when both are 0, 0. When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, that means
Set state.
set state, S will be transferred to Q. Am I right? When S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1, that means there is reset. When both are 1, that means
Invalid state, ma'am.
invalid state. Okay, these are the 4 possible conditions for RS flip-flop. So what are the important for us? Either one of 0 or 1. So what is the actually working of this register with parallel load? Instead of giving this, some difference is there. Instead of putting this direct input S and R, it is given with the help of load input. That means this input S and R is controlled with the help of load inputs with AND gate. That means we will have the input S and R when this load is 1. That means we can control input information with the help of load input. When load input is 0, then whatever the value of I1, I2, I3, I4, your input of S and R will be equal to 0. That means it is no change state. Whether I1 is equal to 1 or 0, it doesn't matter. That means indirectly we can say it helps to control the input value of S and R. So this is actually the working of this load input. Okay. Now, next thing, this time I'm telling you the difference. Okay, point by point. If you have any doubt, any confusion, you can ask. Next, here the clock pulse input is given with the help of inverter. That means your flip-flop will work with negative edge of clock pulse. That means when it is equal to 0, then only it will work. If it is 1, it will not give any changes. Okay, that means here this flip-flop, this register is working with negative edge of clock pulses, because one inverter is there with this bubble. If bubble is not there, that means this is simple buffer. One more input is there, very important input is there. which is given to the another terminal is known as clear. So what is the purpose of giving this clear input? To clear all the flip-flop. If you want to clear the information, earlier stored information, that can be handled with the help of clear input. So when it will clear, so in the normal condition, it will be equal to 1 because there is an inverter with this bubble also in the input. So twice it acts as a buffer, you can see. So it will be equal to 1. Okay, so when load input is equal to 1, so it will work only when load input is equal to 1. First point. For working of this parallel register, this load input is equal to 1. So when load input is equal to 1, then in all 4 flip-flop, any one S or R will be equal to 1 or 0 at a time. Both cannot be 0, both cannot be 1. Am I right? Because in one AND gate, direct I1 is given and another AND gate, it is given with the help of inverter. So it will be either set or reset. Understood? You see the diagram. If you have any doubt, any confusion, you can raise your question. Just see the diagram carefully first.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what's the function of clear?
Clear input is important to clear all the flip-flop. Clear all the flip-flop means whatever input information is stored. If you want to clear some suddenly, so that can be done with the help of this clear input. That's it. This is the new input is given here. So it acts as a buffer, you can say. Here I have mentioned all the important points. Let me read it for you first. The transfer of new information into register is referred to as the loading of the register. It is known to you. If all the bits of the register are loaded simultaneously with a single clock pulse, we can say the loading is done in parallel. The CP input acts as an enable signal which controls the loading of new information into the register, already known to you. When CP goes to 1, the input information is loaded into the register. If CP remains 0, the content of the register is not changed. Note that the change of the state in the output occurs at the positive edge of clock pulse. If the flip-flop changes state at negative edge, there will be a small circle and the triangle symbol at the CP input of the flip-flop. A 4-bit register with parallel load using RS flip-flop is given here. So here also some important points are mentioned. The CP input of register receives continuously synchronized pulses which are applied to all flip-flops. The inverter in the CP patch causes all flip-flop to be triggered by negative edge of the incoming pulses. I told you. The clear input to the special terminal in each flip-flop through a non-inverting buffer gate because twice circle is there. When this terminal goes to 0, the flip-flop is cleared synchronously. Okay, the clear input is useful for clear the register to all zeros prior to its clock operation. Likewise, if you're writing some code in MATLAB, so you're giving the clear command just to make sure whether, because if something is there from the past, so it should not run, it should not store, it should not taken care of the past information. That's why. So here this clear also doing the same work, acting as a same way. The clear input must be maintained at 1 during normal clock operation. Understood? If you want to clear it, it will be 0. The load input goes through a buffer gate and through a series of AND gates to the R and S input of each flip-flop. Although clock pulses are continuously present, It is the load input that controls the operation of the register. I told you, when load input is 1, then only both any one R and S will be equal to 1 and other will be 0. If load input is 0, then both will be equal to 0. That means there is no change state. So your RS input is controlled actually by the load input. Okay. If the load input is 0, both R and S are 0 and no change of state occur with any clock pulse. Got it? Thus the load input is a control variable which can prevent any information change in the register as long as its input is 0. That's why it is very important to have this load input. When the load input control goes to 1, input 1 through 4 specify what binary information is loaded into the register of the next clock pulse. So I told you there is 2 possible conditions. For each one that is equal to 1, each I that is equal to 1, the respective flip-flop input are S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0. For each I that is equal to 0, the corresponding input S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Thus, the input values is transferred into the register provided the load input is 1, the clear input is 1 and clock pulses goes from 1 to 0. Got it? So this is important for working condition. This load input should be equal to 1, clear input should be equal to 1 and clock pulse goes from like 1 to 0, that is, it works with negative edge of clock pulse. This type of transfer is called a parallel load transfer because all bits of the register are loaded simultaneously. Okay, now you can ask your question if you have any doubt. No issue? Fine. See, this module 6 and module 7 is mainly theoretical based. So in exam also you have to write your answer in such a way that you will be able to score good marks in this module. If you're drawing the diagram and just putting 1 or 2 lines, you won't get full marks. To score good marks in this module, if you are writing any theoretical answer, your answer should be appropriate, point wise. It should be readable, neat and clean, and important points should be headlined. Okay, so that is very important to understand how to write the answer. So for some topics I have mentioned like that. For every topic, I will not give in the complete detail form because it is already available in the book also. So this much detail I will not provide in my PPT. But I can tell you one thing, this complete module I am taking from Moorish Menu. So everything is there in the Moorish Menu. So you can prepare your notes also for theoretical type of answer. Okay. So first one we have done the parallel register. Next one we have shift register. Okay, so what is the difference between, before that let me tell you one thing. Yeah, I think just a minute, my throat is having some issue today. See, we have done 4 tasks and I think 11th is the last date for uploading all the tasks. Am I right? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so 4 till D flip-flop we have done. So only today's class we have. So since we have done this register, you already implemented this D flip-flop. Yes. So if single D flip-flop, if I'll ask you to implement, you can do. So for today's experiment in evening lab, for task 5, you can try implement this 4-bit register. Will it be possible for you? I'm just giving you very simple one. Students, can you hear me? This D flip-flop we have already implemented. Okay, everyone implemented D flip-flop. So I'm asking you to implement this 4-bit register. No load, nothing I'm asking, only to implement this 4-bit register. Or if 4 is little lengthy, you can go till 3-bit register. That's also okay. So will it be possible for you? At least reply for my call. You can try implementing this. So what you need to do, you already aware how to implement this D flip-flop. So don't go till 4. 4 is not required. You go till 3. 3-bit also you can do. So this, what you need to do, clock, how to give clock input, how to give input value. These things already known to you. You already implemented this. So I'm asking you to implement this register. Okay. And this output plot for this A1, A2, A3, you can give separately. I'm not asking you to combine all this output also. Separately for A1, A2, A3, you can give. For evening lab, I'm asking. Okay. So today evening, I will like to see this register implementation in LTSpice. So if you have PSpice, by using that also you can do this. Any one software you can use. It's up to you. So again, I will start my lab right from 5:15. So those who are free can join around 5:15 also. After you try implementing this, if you will be able to complete it, you can leave earlier also. Okay, got it? Because this is your task 5, try implementing this. If it can be done, this is well and good. Because frankly speaking, I have not implemented this right now. I was very busy meanwhile. So, but I think you can do this. It's easy only. There is no problem. So once you will complete, you can make your note and you can upload in task 5. So your whole task complete in this way. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Yeah, 3-bit is also fine.
Okay.
That's okay. 3-bit is also fine. 4-bit or 3-bit, it's up to you. I'm not going to detect any mark whether you have implemented 3-bit or 4-bit. Why I told you? Because it looks so complex, so you can go till 3 also. Because if you are able to implement 3, you can implement 4 also. If you are able to implement 2, you can implement 3 also. It is known to me. So you just try doing this. Okay, let's see whether it is possible or not from your end. Okay. So I'll start lab right from 5:15 onwards. Will it be okay for you? Everyone?
Ma'am, I will have a class up to 5:30.
It's fine. You can join around 5:30. That's okay. Once you will free, you can join. So why I want to start class around 5:15. So those who will do in afternoon, if they want to show their output, their block diagram, they can show me. So I'll start meeting from my side. So those who want to show early, they can show and they can leave the team. They can do their remaining work because they have to make the report. They have to upload in VTOP also. And we are having very less time for completion of this one. Okay. So for last 2, this is the last date 11. So students, please be careful. Don't miss the date. Okay. This is for everyone. Hopefully you understood what I'm telling you. Okay, fine. Next we have this shift register. Okay. So what is the difference between this parallel register and shift register? In the parallel register, all the outputs we used to store output parallelly, but in shift register, the input is transferred one bit at a time. That means if you want to store 4-bit output, so although this clock pulse is given parallelly, okay, so with the occurrence of clock pulse, with first, since it is working in negative age of clock pulse, so in the first clock, one input bit is given, that will means whatever input D is given, it is transferring serially to all the flip flop. So first input is given to the first D flip flop, it is transferred to Q, this Q is transferred to second, then it is transferred to Q, then it is given to next third one D, and the same way we are getting the output, first output. In this way it is transferred serially with the occurrence of clock pulse. So how serial transfer happen? What is the working of this serial transfer fashion? That I will show you with the help of one example. Means if you want to serial transfer from one register to another, suppose we have two registers, register A and register B. So how to transfer this information? I will show you this with the help of one example. Okay. So here we will see some points first here. A register capable of shifting its binary information either to the left or right. Here you can see this example is showing the right transfer because from left input we are transferring to right. That's why this is the right transfer example. The same thing can be done for left also. So what will be the difference? The clock input will be there at the last flip flop, and this SO will be here in the SI, and SI will be here in the SO. Whole thing will be reverse. That will be the left transfer. Okay. The logical configuration of a shift register consists of a chain of flip flop connected in cascade with the output of one flip flop connected to the input of the next flip flop. All flip flops receive a common clock pulse, which causes the shift from one stage to the next. Okay. Each clock pulse shifts the contents of the register one bit position to the right. Why it is right? I shown you. The serial input determines what goes into the leftmost flip flop during the shift. The serial output is taken from the output of the rightmost flip flop prior to the application of pulse. If we want to control the shift, we must control the CP input of the register. Okay. So this is only one shift register. If number of shift register are connected serially, so how it is transferring information from one shift register to another, that I will show you with the help of example. What is actually happening there? The output of this first shift register is given to the input of the shift register first, and the same output is given to the second shift register. From there we are getting the output, and this is going again and again. That also depends on the number of register. If we would have some more labs, so you can try implement this also in your LT Spice for your clarity if you want. I'm not asking you to do for your experiment, just for. So how it is going on one by one. This is very important to understand. Okay, if we have some more time, I think we can do. Now we will take one example of serial transfer. Suppose we have shift register, two shift registers, shift register A and shift register B. We want to transfer shift register A content to shift register B. That diagram earlier I shown you was only one register. Suppose this shift register A is 4-bit register and this B is also a 4-bit register. Okay. So the output of this, both are right shift. Output of this A is given to the input of this A, And this output is again given to the input of shift register B. Both are right shift, I'm telling you. Serial transfer from A to B. Clock shift control is given also. This is the same thing. Okay. So suppose initially shift register A contained 4-bit value and B is also having initial 4-bit value. This T1, T2, T3, T4 is actually the timing diagram for 4-bit, you can say, clock pulse. First, when you are giving T1, okay, so this whole duration is called word time. So it is working with negative age of clock pulses, for example. So T1, T2, T3, T4. So with the occurrence of first clock pulse, 1-bit transfer. For the occurrence of T2, another one, then T3, next one, T4, next one. So how it transfer, I will show you. Initially, for example, shift register A contained 1011 and shift register B contained 0010. So after T1, what is happening? Just watch it very carefully. So the first serial output will be 0. How 0? So whatever was the rightmost value, that is 0, is the final output. 0. Got it? That is the last one. This 1011 and 0010 is the initial value stored. So this last value 0 is the first stored serial output of B. After T1, the first value 1 shifted to the second flip-flop, this 0 to the third, this 1 to the 4. Okay, and this last one, just see first row, first register last value 1 is circulated to the second row first value. I shown you this serial output will transfer to the serial input of A. Then this 1 is transferred to B, this way it is going on. And this last value 1 is actually first output 1. Again, after T1, you just see what is the value 1101, 1001. So this second one is transferred to the first T2 1. Again, it will go like this, and this condition will repeat again and again and again till T4. Got it? You can ask if you have any doubt in confusion in this. Students, your concept should be clear here. Here we have taken only 2 shift register. Suppose we have n number of shift register. Then also what will happen? This will go like this again and again and again. Okay? But no need to focus for that. Just take this as an example. Any doubt, any confusion here? Yes or no?
No.
Fine. So why I have shown this to you, this serial transfer? Because it is very important to understand how shift register working, and this topic is very important for your exam point of view also, since it can go for right shift, it can also go for left shift. We can implement shift register where both shift can be done parallelly, both right and left. That is also possible. Okay, so that topic I will take in next class. Fine. So let me create poll first. How was your exam? What happened today? You people are looking so silent.
It was lengthy, ma'am.
Again, it's lengthy. Only 3 questions was there. Am I right? Only 3 questions was there. Not more than that. All direct question only I gave. You have to to work on your speed if you are facing trouble in length of the question. So you have to work on your speed, which is very important. Everyone, please give your attendance. After that, you may leave. And one more point is there. Yeah, just a moment. Today, 5:15, please everyone join. And I have to take one quiz also. So probably that quiz I will conduct in coming lab session. Okay. And tomorrow, can you tell me what is the class timing?